So welcome everyone to our final April is ASC month meeting. We've got a huge number of folks coming in today, so we're really appreciative that you're here. And we'll start off the meeting with, of course, a wonderful picture of our friend here with his hat on. Finally, after our fourth meeting, we get to see Tim with the hat. So we are most appreciative that we are finally there. And he needs to put that little smiley face on his face instead of being so, come on now, let's not be all that. Turn it into a smiley face. Come on, smile. All right.
I actually think I took that still during a dean's meeting or something.
That's so funny. So everyone, we really appreciate you being here. We've got a very busy meeting, so we're going to get started. But we've got today we're going to have Susan Cofield here with us from VMware Academy. I hope I spelled everyone's names right. I did this very quickly a little bit earlier today. Marianne Byron from the Palo Alto Academy, Chuck Gardner and Georgette Price from the cyber.org. And then finally, Jeff Dubé is going to be here from the Redhat Academy later today. So we've got a really busy day with a lot of folks ahead of us. This is our general outline for today in terms of what we're going to do. Just real quick 5-minute intro and then turn it over to Susan to do her presentation on the VMware Academy. Then we'll be followed by Marianne with Palo Alto, Chuck and Georgette from cyber.org. And then finally, Jeff is going to be back and clean up for us and doing the Redhat Academy. So we, again, appreciate everyone being here. As you know, we are a Cisco Academy Support Center, but we support and are actually regional academies for most of these other programs. And we do everything we can to try to help you and support you in your endeavors in these other academies. And if you are a Cisco Academy under us, we don't charge an additional dime to support these other academies. So you're one fee, we're a one-stop shop for all these academies. And that's why I always try to integrate these other academies into our April is ASC month meetings. And anything that I send out in MailChimp, I send it out too. So we will hopefully, when Splunk finally decides if they're going to have regional academies or not, we will be a regional academy for them. And we'll start offering the same type of service. So yeah, that was somebody putting there, Lowell, the angry wizard. Yeah, he did look kind of mad there. I don't know. I'd be kind of scared to walk into that wizard's castle with that hat and that look. So, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stop sharing. And Susan, I have made you a co-host, so you should be able to share your own screen.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yep. And I'm gonna find anybody else right now. No one else is here that's a jester hat. It is a jester hat. I do agree. But Susan, take it away and thank you very much.
Thank you, Kelly, and everyone at Stanley for including me in your meeting today. I really appreciate it. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm Susan Cofield, and I'm with VMware, and I serve as the Regional Program Manager for North America. So I have lots of schools I work with, and I hear from many instructors on how they're implementing our technology into the classroom, and it's all about networking and partnerships, and that's the best part of my job. Is Carolyn, it's always good to see you too. I didn't say hello to you, but the best part of my job is doing things like this and being able to connect with others and being able to help you in any way that I can. I really want to thank Brandon and Kelly for their partnership and Brian for their support over the last 5 years, I guess, with VMware. It has been a great partnership, and just want to thank you for teaching your students in technology. You're making a difference in their lives, whether you think that you are or not. I'm sure there are days that you want to pull your hair out and not go back, but you are making a difference. And so many jobs are out there now for our young people. So thank you for giving a lot, more than probably I will never know, and others behind the scenes. I'm sure you're out there making it happen. But first of all, I want to get to know you a little better, because I don't have my sheet in front of me as far as where everybody's from. First of all, if you'll just type in the chat window if you are a current academy, whether you're using our software or you're subscribed to our program for our content. If you'll just put in there, yes, the name of your school, and yes, we're an active academy. I just want to kind of know the audience and kind of see where to start. And Brandon is going to chime in when appropriate and help me out along the way. So I want to make sure I'm on time, Kelly, so you can cut me off for the next presenter. So, okay, Johnson, is there anybody that is not an academy and are not subscribed to our program? I know some of you are just using our software for your NDG servers, and that's okay too. So let's see, Tim, what about you? I didn't see you type in there.
I don't
I've
think we're using anything, unless you want to count some stuff we're doing through MindTap.
Okay. Is there anybody that is not an academy today and would like to become one? If you'll type that in the chat window. So we've got Vance Scramble. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to see where we were. There could be some things that are redundant to some of you who have been in the program for a while. So I hope that'll be beneficial. Sergio from Pelisipi, you don't teach, and that's fine if you don't teach virtualization. We have a lot of schools that just want our software. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen, and y'all can type any questions in the chat window, and Brandon could help me there as far as if I don't see a question, you can stop me and make sure that I see exactly what questions are being posted. So can everybody see my slides okay? The IT Academy offers very similar to what the other vendor programs offer. The power of our program is really going to be in the software license. So we've got a lot of schools, research universities, like Stanley has partnered with University of South Carolina for their very high-end research projects. So we have some schools that don't want to teach VMware. They just want to teach computer security or cybersecurity or IT information systems, very general, but they want to use our software for virtualization. And that's okay too. We also have Courseware, which I'll go through all the different courses. There's a lot of new things out there that you may not be aware of. And then we'll also share with you the certifications and the badges that are tied to each of the courses. So we have been around for about 13 years. And the courses that we have to offer is what you see here. And we'll kind of start at the very, very bottom. The green courses are ones that are free to you today. You don't have to pay for anything. If you work with high schools, you can share the links to these courses to your high schools. We have a Getting Started in IT course that is very basic. It's probably about 10 hours, and it really walks the student through everything from A to Z on what's a container, what's a data center, what is virtualization. So again, all of these links that Kelly's going to have and share with the group that's here today will have all the links to the free courses so that you can look at those. The next layer, the darker green, is the courses that are developed from our partner NDG, Network Development Group. And they range from cloud and virtualization concepts to software-defined storage, to network virtualization concepts. So if you haven't looked at those, I really encourage you to look at maybe even the network virtualization if you're teaching Cisco. These are 10-hour courses. You don't have to be a facilitator even with these courses. Your students can learn these on their own if you don't have time to fit this in with your schedule. So I hope that you'll have a chance to look at each of these courses and share those with your students, because there's a lot of hungry students out there. You may not know that they're maybe going back and studying on their own. So that might open up their eyes to some other IT areas that they may not be aware of. Each of these courses are about, as I said, 10 hours. So you should be able to kind of slide these in to some other programs of study that you're offering and not have to get that adoption approval from your dean or whoever at your school. So how many of you have heard of the VCTA courses that are in blue? If you're currently with our platform Kavuto or D2L, and I'll go through that as well, you'll be able to see all of the free content that's included in your subscription. So we've got everything from data center virtualization, network virtualization, digital workspace, modern apps, cloud management and automation, and endpoint security. Each of these core technical skill courses are about 10 hours each, and they have simulations that are integrated into each one of them. They will also get a certification after each of these courses. So that's something I know that Stanley is teaching, and I'm going to pause there and let Brandon give his feedback on some of the VCTA courses that he's offering right now.
Yeah, so mainly what we do is we focus on the data center virtualization because that does align better with the install, configure, manage class. So it's important to know that you can use that VCTA class to align with the ICM class, because I'll tell you why. 60%, so I'd say 60 to 70% of everything that's in the DCV, core technical skills, VCTA class is already in ICM. So if you have that alignment, here's an extra, basically an added benefit for the student, because when you give them access to D2L, then D2L actually has all that information and they can keep that access for a year, or as long as their token is good for in D2L. Plus, they'll be able to have another certification, a VCTA certification that actually aligns to the workforce industry. And then as you go on up, then that's where we started taking the optimize and scale class and basically aligning it with the VCP. Now, I have looked at all the network virtualization core technical skills. I've looked at the digital workspace, the app modernization, the cloud automation, and the endpoint security. All of those are good. If you can figure out a good way to wrap all that in and make it kind of mingle with ICM, I'd like to know. I'm still trying to figure out a way how we can incorporate it without inundating the student with just tons of information. But I will tell you what we have found, though, is that DCV core technical skills class aligns very well with the ICM class. So that's a good added benefit for that one in particular.
Thank you, Brandon. And I know Brandon just had a student that finished his vSphere and got his certification. And because of that, his salary increased about $30,000. So that's another great story of the value of certifications, whether that's VMware, Redhat, Palo Alto Network, Cisco. I wish I could go back to school and learn all of these things that our students are learning today, because it really is a great opportunity for students to be able to get that 2-year degree and also get a valuable industry standard certification. The Spring Core is a new course that I'm still becoming more familiar with, but it is a 40-hour course as well. And it's around programming and Java and Python. And so if you haven't had a chance to look at that and you've got a computer science department, maybe you don't teach it, but please share this with your other colleagues at your college, because they may be very interested in leveraging the content and courseware that's included in your subscription. So as I mentioned, all of the courses map to a badge or a certification. We've got the intro courses that will give your students a badge. And then you've got the core technical skills that will give them a certification. We offer I think, a pretty good discount to students, and it's 70% off at Pearson VUE. So I think that course, Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like $38 to be able to get your certification for the VCTA. And it's about $125 for the vSphere.
70, it comes up to, you're talking about the VCP certification?
Yeah, VCP.
Yeah, it comes out to about $75, $76 after the 70%.
Okay.
Discount.
So it used to be 2 exams and now it's just 1. So that's a really great price for the students to be able to leverage.
Yep.
As you will know, we partnered with NDG for the labs. They're creating labs for a lot of our VCTA courses. You can have those hosted, and I know you work a lot with Stanley for some of this. And we also have free hands-on labs with VMware. You can just type in free VMware hands-on labs, and a lot of labs will come up that you might be interested in looking at around virtualization and cloud computing. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Brandon, but do you know the labs that Rich has created for VCTA?
I do. We use them in our classes, and we actually use them in our ICM class. So actually I'm logging into it now just to verify what I'm telling you.
Okay.
So with those, the labs are presented more or less on the beginner learner, right? They're there to present to you what are some of the beginning steps to vSphere, what are some of the beginning steps to virtualization. So with that, when you got the ICM Labs, note that, let me get down here to it. And sorry, my apologies, I'm kind of blank right now. But with the ICM Labs, you automatically have 24 labs and 25 labs if you use the no lab to launch the cyber range, which could be your end of class lab where you have students just go in there and build their own environment, or you have some particular you want to do. So you take those 24 labs, and then you incorporate the DCV core technical skills labs, you got an additional 10 labs. So with that, you can actually have 34 hands-on labs that you could do with your install, configure, manage class. Now, let me say there is some repetitiveness in those 10 labs. However, it's a little bit more geared for the beginner, for the learner that's beginning vSphere instead of getting into the ICM portion of it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I was reading the chat window because Kelly was giving me some. Okay, I'm gonna speed along. This is all the software that's also included in your subscription. We have a lot of schools that just want Workstation and Fusion. If you are using NDG Labs and you need more license, I know Richard's always calling me, he's needing something about vCenter or vSphere. Just shoot me an email and we have a process to send you some additional license if you're not able to get those through D2L. So I am going to skip along because I'm going to show you how to join the program. And you can go to our website and we'll go back so you can also ask some questions. But right here on our website, it says Join IT Academy. So you would click there and it gives you two options. We've got the VMware IT Academy program that includes all of the software that I just showed you, as well as all of the content and all of the vouchers. Or if you don't care for any of the courseware, which I wouldn't advise you to go this way, but we have some schools that just want the software. But guess what? It's the same price. So I would encourage you to subscribe to the IT Academy program here. And this is where it outlines the different levels of pricing. The biggest change in our program is we have gone to a per seat subscription. We were with Cavuto over the years, and we've now moved to our new partner, Desire to Learn, or D2L. So this is where you have all the pricing for the different levels. And this is where you would click to join the program and fill out a very brief application, which I'll approve within 24 hours, and you'll get an email from D2L about where to log in to pay. So the pricing is, I know, a little bit weird, but it's $330 for 205 students. Or you can go to that next level and purchase it for 405 students for $505. So I'm going to pause there and just see if you have any questions about the pricing or about the new partner, D2L. I know a lot of you have been on Cavuto in the past. So if you want to unmute, I'm trying to follow the chat window too. So I'm going to go back up there and see if there's any other questions. Brandon, let's see, veteran. So any questions that you have on the pricing or how to join?
I can also, being your regional support center too, we can also, if you get stuck in the process of doing this, we can get on a Zoom call with you and help you with that as well if we need to.
You can also buy license by an individual thing. So yes. If you can't do 205 or don't need 205, then you can make it happen. And I'm getting ready to put a quote into the from the chat of the student you were talking about. And folks, this is from one of our students last spring, and this is basically why why we do this job.
There it is.
Yep. So this guy was able to by getting his VCP, he got a $30,000 a year raise, and basically went from actually cut out a little bit. I meant to leave in there, but that's okay. But either way, he basically went from being what he said was reactive to proactive. He's now part of a team, and he makes over six figures. So he's changed his life. So I hope that folks see that and know that, all of you do this, and I know we're way underpaid, and I know we don't get paid what we can make in the industry. But it's these little things like this that really help us to know we're making a difference. And I know you see that with your students, but it's sometimes we don't see it as much because we do deal with so many students that are all over the United States. So it's really nice to see. So that was the one
That's great.
kind of talking about.
And if you have a student success story, I really love to get those and be able to send you some VMware swag as a thank you. But I love to get those quotes to share with my management team to really show the value of certifications in our program. Just to mention too that 97% of the companies, Fortune 500 companies, use VMware as part of their IT infrastructure. And the reason why I bring that up is that they're hiring people and they need people. So wherever you live, or if you want to Google Indeed, if that's where you look for jobs for students, or if that's the tool they use, pick an area. I know that Albemarle may not have the big jobs for VMware, but pick Charlotte or some of the larger Raleigh and just kind of see what's out there for VMware engineers. On the next call, Kelly, I'd love to invite one of our engineers too to talk about their experience and their career path, and also the value of getting a VMware certification. So any other questions? I have more to go over, but I want this to be your meeting, not my meeting, and didn't want to PowerPoint you to death. But I'd like to answer any questions you have about our content or how to join, or anything else that might be top of mind. Got a quiet group today.
I do want to point out to everybody on this call, right? If you really want to take your VMware class to the next level, I'll give you a little hint. We all got LinkedIn, right? We all use LinkedIn. Find a VMware employee that you know. Go join Susan. Go find Susan and add her on LinkedIn. Go look at all her VMware employees. You're going to get anywhere from TAMs, technical access, technical account managers, to system administrators. Go and actually find those individuals, send them a message on LinkedIn to join with them, and ask them, would they be willing to join your class? Would they be willing to talk to you on VMware, the importance of certifications? I'm telling you, it works. That's something that I do, something I've become to do over the last 2 to 3 years. And it's helped me understand more of VMware is just not vSphere, right? It's just not based on the certification. There's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes than you'll ever know. So go make those connections and network throughout the whole, just network yourself to help your students. So that's a huge benefit.
And I'll be glad to help with that, because I might can find the right person a little bit easier than you can. But we get a lot of engineers that love to talk about themselves, and I'd love to help connect the dots and have them be a guest speaker. The young ones, I love getting the young ones because they, have just started out, or even some of the older ones, they can tell you lessons learned and what they would do differently. If you need somebody to serve on your advisory board, your curriculum advisory board, I'll be glad to help connect those dots for you. I needed a speaker. I needed some engineers to talk at University of South Carolina last year. And I just got on LinkedIn and I Googled VMware employees, advanced search, and then I put their alma mater in, and I got 8 volunteers, just within like an hour. So anything I can do to help you there, I'll be glad to. Brandon and I have been working, as he put in the chat window, on a Reboot program for veterans. We've got a VMware veteran to speak to the classes, and if some of them needed a mentor, we connected them with a veteran VMware employee to be their mentor. meet with them, whatever they decide on. And I think that makes a big difference. I mean, I didn't have a mentor in college. I wish I did. But what a great opportunity to be able to have an employee from VMware or Cisco or anywhere to be a mentor to a young person. It really takes them a long way. Well, Kelly, are you going to be sending out you want me to send you my PowerPoint presentation? I had a lot more slides, but I really wanted it to be interactive, and anything I can do to help you join or help you in any way I can. That's what I'm here for, and happy to join any calls with your staff to go over our program in more detail, because I know I had limited time today, but it was great to be invited and be on the agenda.
What I would like to do, I posted into the thing, if, depending on how fast we can make it happen, we could do a meet the engineer in May type thing, and maybe try to get an engineer from every program.
It's a great idea.
Do one from VMware. I don't know how quickly you can get someone, Susan, but let's send me an email, and maybe we can even do it the first week of May. I know that's next week, but if we could do it, we can make it happen. And we just do make them 1 hour meetings, and then do during that week, we could try to get an engineer from each one of them. That would be, I think, a great idea, because I'd like to hear from an engineer from each one of our vendor programs and kind of see what's going on in their real world, so to speak.
We also have a YouTube channel, and we've got a lot of videos from engineers talking about their career path and what they would have done differently. One guy worked for the Yellow Pages, and he thought, I can't do this anymore. I've got to provide for my family. So he ended up going and getting certified in VMware and got his job as an engineer there. So anyway, there's a lot of really good, encouraging stories that are on our YouTube channel.
We also, I do know I'm working with NDG. We're going to have some free instructor training for VMware coming up. Our plan was to do it during the summer. We don't have the exact dates worked out yet, but I will try my best to get those out to everyone. And as soon as I do, we can go from there. I do know what we typically do is work directly with Susan and NDG to look at strategic partners that they have that they really want to get involved with the program. But if you are interested in getting some instructors trained or need some training, then let me know, and we'll start a list, and that way we can have them. So.
Well, thank you so much for letting me be on your call today. I really appreciate it. I hope to be talking to you soon.
Thank you, Susan, very much for being here. We really appreciate it. And send me an email on that engineer, and let's see if we can make that happen.
Sounds great. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
we do. A volunteer army.
Remove your co-host permission. That way, if you do drop, you're more than welcome to stay too. But
I'm gonna hang up now. But bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Marianne, I have made you a co-host, so you will be able to actually share your presentation directly from your PC. So now, folks, everyone, we have with us Marianne Burns. Is it Burns? I'm saying
Burns.
Burns. Marianne Burns from the Palo Alto Academy, and I'll let you take it away, Marianne.
Terrific.
There you go.
Okay, and so
we can see it. So
you can see. Good. Well, so it's just exciting to be here today. Thank you, Kelly and Brandon, and it's great to see everybody. There's been a lot going on with Palo Alto Network Cybersecurity Academy. I know some of you are members, and some of you are hopefully prospective members of our academy, and we are excited to work with all of you. As I said, there's a lot going on at the company. What we have grown to have over 1,900 institutions in our program now in 85 countries, and we are working with community colleges and universities around the world, and also seeing a big growth in high schools that are participants, and also some nonprofit organizations that have education programs for diverse communities. We've seen tremendous growth in the US and outside of the US, and now have over 800 academies in India. So really taking advantage of the global nature and the growth of our business, and then in the growth of the academies. We continue to update our materials because we're the #1 company in the #1 industry, and we've experienced tremendous growth. We update our cybersecurity curriculum for the latest in cyber threats, and we update for the latest in our technology. What we have seen is that there is a tremendous growth in all parts of communities. We're seeing state governments in particular that are interested in finding out how they can implement education within all of the grades and all of the parts of their workforce. And you're familiar with Academy programs. Ours is very straightforward. Everything is free. You come to for our curriculum. The access is very straightforward to sign an agreement, to get the self-paced faculty training, and of course, working with Kelly to get in-person faculty training. We have our virtual firewalls that we offer for free, and then we have 40% discounts on our that are standard on our certifications, and we also have access to some free certificates as well for the PCCET and PCNSA and PCNSE. So if there is interest, we can see what we can work out there, because we think that is really important. This is about educating the workforce of tomorrow, and we see that more and more our customers are interested in their job candidates having our training, and that it's making a difference for them. Sorry. Our courses, as I said, are updated, and we have our foundational course. If you start from the bottom, our cybersecurity foundation, network security fundamentals, cloud security fundamentals, and security operations fundamentals. Those courses are lead to the PCCET. We're seeing that there's big demand for those courses, and there is a continued interest in this entry-level technician certification. And then the enterprise security management and enterprise security deployment are updated with our latest rev of technology, and these courses and others have been incorporated into degree programs at the university level and in graduate programs, as well as offered in community colleges. So enterprise security management, cloud security deployment, security operations configuration are all courses that have recently been updated and are in demand in these different programs. We also partner with cyber.org for younger grades, and so we will continue to do that as well to complete our offering.
Which is interesting, Marianne, because they are going to be here later to present, talking about what cyber.org is and what it has available. So
yeah, and they're, we work closely with them. We think that their offerings are very strong, and we partner wherever we can. And then in our courses are on our Moodle platform, and it's a comprehensive program. Everything that we see that is needed to teach the course and have student participation. Tom Trevathan, who is our lead curriculum developer, was a former dean and a professor in technology and cybersecurity. And he is also a member of the NICE NIST standards, so that we get the cybersecurity education national standards. And he is the chair of the community of interest for K-12 and is looking at those national standards. And we're one of the only vendors to be on this national standards board. So what we're able to do then is map every course to jobs that would be in line with these standards. So we think that that's really important because, again, as we look at educating your students for great careers in cybersecurity, we think that we have the education that will help them get good jobs. And we are, we are always looking for new opportunities and new ways to support you, but we see that all of this, we make it available online so that you have a comprehensive program to be able to implement. So again, getting started is just to sign our agreements. If we then send you a welcome packet, if some of you have not been have signed up for our program but haven't been involved as of late, we can send you that information so that you can access our courses. What some folks do is they incorporate parts of our courses into courses and programs that they have if they want to strengthen some particular area of cybersecurity. All of our training is available in self-paced online courses, and that's it. There's no other certification that needs to be passed or anything to begin teaching. And so that's it. I wanted to keep it short so that we could have time for questions. So if anybody has any questions, great. So go right ahead.
Most definitely. Feel free to take yourself off of mute, folks. Just click on the lower left-hand corner and unmute yourself if you do have any questions.
I just posted the link to the Palo Alto Networks Academy for Mary Ann, and I posted the link to join. You'll be joining through Smartsheets. So that's a good thing. And I'll be honest, I've been taking some Smartsheet training on LinkedIn Learning, and that is quite interesting on what y'all can do. Just FYI. I know that's off topic, but Smartsheets is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm Mary Perry from Fable Tech. I teach the EDU 210, which is the Palo Alto Firewalls course, and I'm the liaison here at Fable Tech. The only question I was wondering is, because I also teach a course dealing with SIM, do you see any of your EDR or any of the other products other than just the firewall becoming available as part of the academy?
So you're talking about some specific courses that you would like?
Well, I was wondering if the academy might be moving not just to teaching the firewall appliance, but also maybe the EDR products they have for extended detection or response, for that get incorporated into the SIM SOC. So I was wondering if that might be a path that the Palo Alto Academy was going to potentially pursue. I was very interested in possibly incorporating that in our cybersecurity program if that ever becomes available, because I do like the way the labs for the firewalls are set up. So I could see that if it was somewhat similar, the labs for the EDR, EDX might be really good.
Yeah, so for us, we have our our security operations configuration course and our cloud security deployment courses that address all aspects of our technology. And what I can do is have folks follow up specifically, because I'm not as in depth on the curriculum. But,
Okay.
and we're also adding more labs on the Prisma and Cortex side, on the cloud security and SecOps side. So, and there's, for the specific course, I don't know, but we see that we want it to be just a comprehensive offering. So,
Okay.
so I could get that. Yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
Any other questions? All right, Marianne, thank you very much for being here. I know we are looking at some instructor training also for Palo Alto. So if folks are interested and want some instructors to be trained, please let me know and we'll work with Marianne and see if we can't get that taken care of. You know, we teach our 210 right now in our continuing education department, and it's very well received. So it's something that we're definitely would love to offer more classes in the Palo Alto. So if they're
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, in this spirit, I went through things. I went through things quickly, but ultimately, what I can do is provide data sheets that give course overviews, and that could be distributed to your group, and and just the link, any other links that might be helpful, so that people can understand.
Okay, and definitely send me your presentation. I'll send that out to everyone in the group, and I send out the recording.
All right.
And let me point out also, because we are a regional support center, don't forget that you can always contact me for any help, like with NetLabs or any appliances, the VM50s that we got. I'm always available and open to help with that as well. So if you've got that come up, let me know. And honestly, like, I've run into a couple issues, and all I've needed to do is I've emailed Marianne. She's got me to the correct support at Palo Alto, which is, I don't know if many of you know Tom Trevathan. He's very good, has been helping me a lot. So if you need that extra support over what I can give you, I know the right people to contact. So don't forget about that. So keep that in the back of your mind. Keep that always, that line of communication open.
And we'll also mention too that if you need NetLabs access to teach a class or two, we can't support 4,000 students. If you've got a class of, you want to offer 10 to 20 students and you don't have the ability to load it locally, we're always sharing NetLabs access. So just let us know. There's other ways you can do it too. Obviously, you can purchase access through NDG's online services, but we're more than welcome to, we'll share if we can. So
I don't remember from last week, Brandon, but have you guys pulled in the PAN 10 VMs and
yes,
got them on? Okay.
Yes,
Because
we
our
have
guys
PAN 10 up and running.
Okay. You pulled the VMs off of CSSIA, right?
Yeah, Cassia. Yes, that is
Cassia.
correct.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Because our guys sent me a message today when they were trying to run it, and the John sent us the licensing. It came up with an error, so I'll get with you about that. It said something about this license doesn't work with VM100s, but I didn't think that the courses from Cassia was VM100, so I don't know why they got that error code.
It's not. It's VM50s.
Correct. That's my understanding. So I have to figure out why it came back with that error code. I sent it to John, but so I'll wait for a response from him, and if there's still something technical, I'll get with you.
Okay, very good.
Sounds
Just
good.
let me know.
Alan,
Do you have my email?
The NSF project that we are currently involved with, the portal also does the Palo Alto stuff. So if push comes to shove, we can actually put some instructors or students on that too. We need to.
Yeah. And we've asked for a no cost extension for our NSF portal grant for a year. So we're still, that portal is not going anywhere for a while. So, all right. Thank you, Marianne, very much. And I know we're a little early, so I want to share something that I just actually got today. I am not beyond recommending and or talking about other support centers that I think are really good. And I won't lie to you, the Western Academy Support and Training Center does a really good job, especially with this summer workshop that they have. So I posted in here, and you will see there's 3 weeks of different items. One of them is the week of Cisco Live. So, and then one is the week of Skills USA. So June is usually a pretty stupid month for us around here. But you'll notice that they have a large number of different items. And one of them actually is our partner in the NSF grant, which is Dr. Jorge Kurchenko down at University of South Carolina. He has developed some actual software-defined networking labs with these P4 switches. So he's having a week-long seminar on that. But this costs, I think, $50 to join one of the 4.5-day workshops. So just, you may want to look through this and see if it's some training you would like to have. They've got some neat stuff that, like this one down here on, some Red Hat stuff on Kubernetes, some stuff on, this one I thought was cool. FX Games working on the Unreal Accelerator. So if you've ever worked on the Unreal Engine, I actually just sent that to our simulation game development person. But it just kind of takes you through a bunch of different items, and they have a wide range. Even there's an Adobe workshop, so a wide range of topics they do in the summer. So I'm not above, giving a shout out to another group when they're doing a really good job. And Karen Stanton out at WotC does a great job, her and her crew. So take a look at this if you're interested. It's a good way to spend $50 and get some really good training, some online training. Okay. Any questions about that? Let's see. David said he went to 3 last year and it was paid for. So David, was it worth the time? You think the workshops were good? You put a message, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, everyone's been to one of the workshops that I've talked to has really been impressed and enjoyed and learned from it. So I think for the cost, it's pretty cheap. I think it's 50. I think, like I said, it's $50 to do a single workshop. So, yep, $50 general admission and $50 for each one of the workshops. So you could spend $150 and go to 3 sets of workshops if you so chose to do so. But I would go ahead and get in now, because a lot of times the good workshops get filled up pretty quickly. Yeah, good thing. Sometimes a lot of them, they're all at the same time. Yeah. And they do have a lot of hands-on. So that's another reason why I like to support these workshops, is they're not usually just a series of lectures. They're not just talking heads, they're actually good information. And Dr. Kurchenko, if you do the P4 labs, I know that you get access to that one for another month after the lab is over. So anyone else have any questions for Mary Ann? And we got a little bit of time. I don't see Chuck or Georgette here yet. I don't see them. No questions. See all, hear all, know all. There was actually something I wanted to show you inside of NetAcad, and I forgot what it was. It was one of the things that Michael had learned about how to get in and see on the PTSA, the PTSA score, and actually download the PTSA. But anyone else? Oh, we got a few minutes here. You got any? Have we have any questions that you like answered? Any questions about the Palo Alto Academy or the VMware Academy? Any questions? Like I said, we got about 10 minutes before the time that Georgette and Chuck were supposed to be here. Do you have any questions on anything? No.
David Oliver said he's got a question.
Shoot, unmute yourself and let it go.
Yep, David, what you got?
Okay, so I will be needing to switch out my outer firewall this year, and us being a Palo Alto Academy, is there any type of discount? I know that was a contention earlier, and I missed a portion of the briefing a while ago. Is there any type of discount for us, considering the fact that we're completely separate from the school's infrastructure?
Mary Ann, can you please, I'll let you highlight that. Can you talk about that portion, please?
Is Mary Ann still here?
Is she still here?
Did she drop? Hope not. Maybe she dropped. We will check. We'll check on that, David. I do know you can run a virtual VM. I mean, you can run it virtually and put it on a server and run it that way. And I think as long as it's protecting your classroom, I think that is legal, if I'm not mistaken, right, Brandon?
That is correct. So I think what they got, I think it's called the loaner program, and I think they'll give you a VM. I think it may be a VM 100, maybe. I think. Well, I had to verify that with Mary Ann for your forward facing if you're going out like that. But I'll verify with Mary Ann, and if you will, send me your email. That way, I'll know for sure that I'll get back with you and I'll get that conversation started. David,
what you would have to do is you would have to set up, basically the way this would work is you would have to have your own server. You can get a hardware one physically at a discount, but you have to pay for support. Okay. John Answorth saying you can get a hardware one physically at a discount, but you have to pay for support. I think you can get a virtual one for free. I think that's the way it works. Let me show you real quick how you would have to do that. I'm loading up my whiteboard. And let me share my screen here. I love using my little tablet. But what you would have to actually end up doing then is obviously you would have to put in your server. So you'd have your server sitting here. And on that server would be your VM 100 or 50. And you'll have two NICs, two vNICs, one going to the inside, one going out to your internet. That's a cloud, y'all. And then this will be your inside, whatever you got here, switches or whatever. So this would be your VM 100 or VM 50 or 100, either one. And so you got to have a server that can access that, and you'll need two physical NICs, so that you can bind one physical NIC to your inside infrastructure, one physical NIC to your outside infrastructure on that same virtual machine. That's the way I see it anyway. Brandon, if I'm wrong, tell me, but I think that would be the way you'd have to do it.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then you'll have a license that you'll apply to the VM 50 or 100, and then everything would go through that, would flow through that server. Or again, you could pay, get a hardware version and pay for licensing on. Honestly, I know a lot of people are using a virtual firewall, and it's working just fine for them. And we down the road in a couple of years will be moving towards this for our data center eventually. And there's some cool ways of doing some neat failover doing that. But the problem is obviously you're going to have a server to put inside of this to make it work. Questions about that?
Let me see. You want me to see if I can get Mary Ann to join back right quick? I'm not sure. She cut out pretty quick. Like that was odd.
Yeah. So John is saying it's $450 for a PA 220 plus $112 for support and service. John, is that $112 per year or is that per year? Okay. Well, $112 per year is not bad. That's still not bad at all. 600 and yeah, they are. Yeah, and a lot of schools love the Palo Alto network firewalls. They are very, very good firewalls. So they are definitely worth the time.
Oh Lord, Cisco Meraki, don't be talking that mess now.
Don't even say that.
Don't even say that.
No.
Tony. Oh my word, you're killing me, friend.
Yeah, not Meraki. There are no Cisco classes on anything Meraki that we have access to. I really do wish we could get access to Meraki's cloud stuff. And then Rick's talking about Fortinet. Well, Fortinet actually is made of a lot of inroads on SLED and local government. But that's one of the things that we talked about. Yeah, we've heard both things, Rick. I've heard that some people love Fortinet and some people hate it. So it is a love-hate relationship. A lot of people call it the poor man's Palo Alto. If you've got the money, I would definitely get the Palo Alto. Yeah. A lot of people do like Fortinet, but I think you're getting a better product with Palo Alto if you can afford it. That's my personal opinion, but everyone's got opinions. Yeah. All right. I see Georgette, you are here. I have made you a co-host. So everyone, and I don't know if Chuck is here too. I was looking, I didn't see Chuck.
We were just in the meeting and I think we both kind of misread the time. And so I was like, oh no, we are now. So he will probably be coming down, but I'm happy to get started.
Okay, all right, great. Everyone, this is Georgette Price, she's with cyber.org, and I've asked them to come on board and just talk about their program, because honestly, until I had a meeting with them through the Carolina Cyber Network to discuss what they are and what they do, I had no clue about them at all, I'll be quite honest. And now to hear that they're also working directly with Palo Alto Networks, and Tom Trevathan is on the NICE frameworks for below, K through 12, basically, and into that area is really good to hear. So Georgette, I've given you co-host permission, so you can share your screen if you so wish, and we will let you get started.
All right, thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I always get confused with our times with us being Central and Eastern, but it's really great to meet all of you. My name is Georgette Price. I'm with cyber.org, and I've been with them since October. So a lot of what I'm going over today has been really new to me as well. So we are a 501c3. We're located in Northwest Louisiana. So we're about as far away from New Orleans that you can get while still being in the state, which is kind of unfortunate. But we serve K-12 educators across the United States and the U.S. territories by providing at no cost professional direct development and curriculum for cybersecurity. There we go. So our goal is to build a cybersecurity workforce through educational resources and professional development. Hey, Chuck. So we do that by integrating our foundational concepts like programming and cyber hygiene and cyber security vulnerabilities in core STEM classes. And then we also help states with specialized cyber pathways. We have recently published our K-12 cybersecurity learning standards. And then we also like to empower our classroom teachers to serve as essential catalysts to expanding the student cybersecurity education. So the bulk of what we do is teacher facing, and by providing them with that curriculum and professional development to then take back to the classroom. So we offer a lot in the K-12 spectrum for cybersecurity curriculum. Right now, our courses focus 3rd through 12th grade. We will be releasing our first K2 courses this summer with our cybersecurity basics. That will be K through 8th grade. And so that really does help prepare students for that cybersecurity career pathway that they can then take some of our industry-focused certification courses at the high school level. So the elementary and middle school level, we also offer Science Plus, which is aligned to NGSS. And then we also have coding classes, computational thinking, STEM EDA. At the high school level, we have what we call kind of our plugged and unplugged courses. So we have our cybersecurity courses that are aligned to CompTIA certifications. And then we also offer a course called Cyber Society, which is our humanities course that really goes through the law and politics around cyberspace and how to be a good cyber digital citizen. And Chuck, feel free to jump in if you want to.
Yeah, no, that's all good stuff. So, you mentioned the distinction between the technical and the non-technical. A lot of humanities and liberal arts is incorporated throughout the elementary, middle, and high school content. Excuse me, but that the important realization is that given that high school student the opportunity to gain foundational knowledge in cyber, as well as that ability to study technical content that's going to result in a work-based credential like Security Plus or A Plus or IT Fundamentals. Excuse me, we do have a Net Plus course that's under development to round out that opportunity for CompTIA entry-level credentials. But yeah, the content's all free for teachers in the US, and any questions on how to implement, we've got professional development that supports that curriculum as well.
So our PD, like I said before, is at no cost to school districts. We can do virtual or in-person options. We offer courses throughout the year through Eventbrite that a teacher can sign up for free. We have boot camps that we offer virtually. We will come out to school districts and provide PD. And we also offer some self-paced courses through Eventbrite as well. And so we can customize our content for the needs of the school district or the team that we're working with if we're working with another organization. We also do a lot with career awareness. We have developed our cyber career profile cards, and we've done this with some help from some of our industry partners, specifically General Dynamics. And our goal with this is to really kind of not just introduce students to cybersecurity careers, but I know for me, like I don't have a cybersecurity background. I'm actually a counselor, that's my background. And I did not know a lot about cybersecurity until I started here. And I have a high school senior this year. And I think as a parent, sometimes like when we only focus on what we know is available for a job, there's so much that I think our parents don't know about cybersecurity careers. And so these cards are really great resources for schools to introduce parents to cybersecurity careers so they can help encourage their students or their children to go into cybersecurity careers. These are on our website. They're searchable by degree, by certification needed. And students can see the median salary, the projected job growth, and not just common job duties, but soft skills too. We know how important that is. And sometimes students aren't really getting the education they need on soft skills. So this really shows them what soft skills, so maybe they have the soft skills too, but they don't have the job duties. And so this can introduce that idea of those careers to them. So this is just a little bit about our impact. To date, we have impacted 3.4 million students with our curriculum. We have trained over 17,000 teachers, and over 23,000 teachers are enrolled right now in our Canvas platform, which is our LMS that houses our curriculum. Like I said before, one of our big publications this past year has been our cybersecurity standards. And that we looked at the foundational and the technical cybersecurity tracks. And we looked at 3 themes: computing systems, digital citizenship, and security. And these standards are kindergarten through 12th grade.
Yeah, and those were developed by educators. We simply brought the team together as kind of the publishing body. But this was a project that was developed by teachers from across the country. 30 educators came together during the 2020-2021 school year to develop the standards. We invited about 24 partners from industry to review the standards, put them out for public comment. And then August of 2021, we released them to the public through our website. And now we're working with teachers and schools and districts and regions on implementation opportunities to bring those standards into the classroom for student conversation, student awareness.
So we also host our forum in the summer. This year we'll be in Alexandria, Virginia, June 20th through the 22nd. It is a 2.5-day conference. We are doing $50 registration, and that includes meals for those 3 days. And teachers will leave that event ready to teach our content. So we will be, like I mentioned before, rolling out our K-8 cybersecurity basics. So we have 4 workshop tracks to offer educators. We have an elementary track, middle school, then we have that high school technical cybersecurity, and then we have that humanities unplugged cyber society track. We will also be offering breakout sessions, some of our partners and some of our other curriculum content. And then this year, for the first year, we have our cyber.org Educator Awards. And we are highlighting 4 educators from across the US, and they will give a masterclass that Tuesday afternoon about how they teach cybersecurity in their classroom. And we have elementary through high school teachers represented in this 4 group of students or 4 group of teachers. And then our last day, we will finish up with our tracks that Wednesday morning. This is just a list of some of our partners. As you can see, I'm not sure I even mentioned this before, but we are funded through CISA, Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency. We also receive funding from DSEC, which is a DoD STEM or Defense STEM consortium. And then we also have funding from NSA. We work with K-12 school districts across the United States, federal government agencies, other industries and nonprofit organizations, and then higher education. And then below, you'll see a list of our partners that helped us with our cybersecurity learning standards. And I wanted to just briefly show you our website. Oops. Where are you? Let me just stop sharing for a second. Sorry about that. We've been like in admin meetings all day today. So this is our website, and I just want to show you really quick. If you hop on our website, a lot of our content is available just for anyone. So we have our initiatives. If you come here, you can see our K-12 cybersecurity learning standards. You can learn about them. You can get activities that are aligned to those, and just some fact sheets about that in the background. Also, under our career exploration, you can see our cyber career profile cards. And this is where you can go on there and actually search through like a degree or certification required, and tells you a little bit more information about each career field. We also have under here, we can find all of our workshops and events that we have that are available either virtually or in person or self-paced, are some of the events that will be at conferences that will have speaking engagements throughout the year. If you're interested in signing up for our curricula, you just click on the sign up. And then if you want more information about our cyber education discovery forum, then we have information here as well. One other initiative I just wanted to highlight for you is our Project Reach initiative. This initiative is funded as well through CISA, where our team is working with historically Black colleges and universities. Right now, we have 8 signed up to develop a pipeline of underrepresented students to these universities in cybersecurity degree programs or computer science, and then connecting them with industry for cybersecurity careers. So that's another one of our initiatives. Another initiative with CISA that we have is Project Access, and I'll let Chuck talk about that one since he's more involved.
Yeah, through Project Access, we're working with state agencies for blind and vision impaired, working with students who are blind and vision impaired, and delivering summer camp opportunities to those students. This stemmed out of a relationship we had with Virginia's Department for the Blind and Vision Impaired, and has since become a national initiative where last year we brought this opportunity to students in Nebraska. This year we're working with Michigan, Maine, Vermont, Connecticut, Michigan, Nebraska, Arkansas, and Louisiana. So a lot of great opportunities to bring some text-based programming, some robotics, but also some Linux and new OS opportunities for students to explore all of these stepping stones that's going to get them interested in cyber and potentially careers in cybersecurity. We're working on cybersecurity content for those students, and that's a project that we'll be developing this school year, hopefully to release next year. What we're doing in our Linux camp this year is we're actually building accessible web pages. Every student's going to build their own web page that's going to be publicly hosted, and they're going to be able to take it home and show their parents and their colleagues and their classmates. So we're pretty excited about that work. So that's Project Access, and that stemmed from work that we did with NSF back in 2020, 2021 academic year. So some really great stuff there.
And that is my big overview. I'd love if anyone has questions or.
Would you, Georgette, be able to log in and show some of your materials? Because that's definitely something I think that a lot of the folks have never seen. Have never seen some of the materials that you have, and I think that is one of the things that really surprised me. And I'll also say, mentioning what Chuck was talking about with the blind and disabled. I've always said the one minority we all can join in the blink of an eye is being disabled. And so it's one of the things where I talk about the world of IT. If I didn't have the job I have, I would be on disability right now. If I had been someone who worked a manual labor job or a job that required physical labor due to my injuries, I would be disabled and unable to work. So I've been blessed to have the job that I have. But I think too, we need to always think about those folks who are disabled, because they are prime candidates in the cybersecurity and in the networking fields that we work in.
Yeah, without a doubt, all good points, Kelly. So through cyber.org, the sign up form is a link at the top of the page, and it's just a quick form to register for access, and all K-12 educators in the US are more than welcome to sign up for access. If you're higher ed working with K-12, we'd love to give you access to the content as well. So once you fill out this quick 4-page form, you're going to get access to our learning management system, which we host on Canvas. And that's our entire library. So we've got over 19 titles that span elementary, middle, and high school. One of our most popular, it's our cybersecurity course, and it's based on the Security Plus credential from CompTIA. And that's where I was just a second ago. So when I clicked into cybersecurity, we've done everything. We've created lesson planning materials, sample syllabus documents, descriptions of all of our labs and case studies. But like I said, this course is mapped to the 601 exam from CompTIA, known as Security Plus. We just updated it when the 601 objectives came out, and we're continuing to post new resources here. But it is mapped to every objective and every term that is covered in that exam of the 5 units. And within each of those units, we've got a number of terms. So as I scroll through, it looks daunting. And it is, there's 150 something lessons here because there's a lot of terms on that test, but it's not all, designed to be covered in a day. So there's 180 hours worth of content. It's a full year's worth of material, but each of these lessons we've designed it so that you can cover multiple lessons in a day. For example, when I'm down in the Unit 3 region, I've got, some lessons here that just have a PowerPoint, guided notes for the teacher to present some answers to the note documents for the students. We've got quizzes for every section. Not every lesson has case studies or labs. So I might cover 334, 335, and 336 in the same class. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do wireless cryptographic protocols in a day because I've got a lesson, but I've also got a case study where I'm going to look at some current events opportunities to bring real world examples into the classroom for conversation. And if I don't have a case study, I'm going to keep scrolling. I've got labs where I can do some hands-on examples of some of these cybersecurity concepts. So 372 account policies. Again, I've got teacher notes and a PowerPoint and guided notes, as every lesson does. But now I can take a look at, if I want to look at some current events, I've got a case study dealing with the Equifax hack. And if I want to take a look at a lab, I've got this passwords lab where I'm going to analyze, the strength of different passwords. So we've got 50 labs that are presented throughout the content. We've got another 40 some odd case studies, and like I said, over 150 different lessons. Last question, maybe, where are these labs running? If I run over to this product called the US Cyber Range, which comes out of our friends at Virginia Tech. If you're a teacher in Virginia, you might know it as the Virginia Cyber Range. The other 49 states have access to this US Cyber Range. And this is where we're practicing cybersecurity. So the Virginia Tech folks have hosted this cyber.org cybersecurity environment on their global product catalog so that any teacher who has access to the US or Virginia Cyber Range can dial up this environment that we developed to work with our curriculum. And what it gives you access to is a Kali Linux machine and a vulnerable Windows machine. So we've got Kali Linux operating. Every student gets access to Kali Linux and vulnerable Windows 7. And these are those students' environments. So I dialed into Joe McAdams' environment, and I've got Kali Linux and I've got Windows 7, and they open up in a browser, and it's a fully functional Kali environment that's taking its sweet time to load up. So here's my Kali Linux. I've got command line. I can log in as the super user, and now I'm admin, and I can launch attacks at this vulnerable Windows 7 device, which will live in a separate tab. But for those of you who are familiar with Windows 7, you're going to have some flashbacks now, maybe a little PTSD, because this is old school Windows 7. And the reason we use this is so students can't get in trouble with Windows 10 or Windows 11. This is the Swiss cheese of vulnerable Windows environments. It's full of malicious exploits that we can take advantage through this Kali environment. So that's why we've chosen these two particular operating systems, because they work very well together, and it allows me to cover all of the content that I'll need to practice for a Security Plus exam without needing to have an internship or some kind of real world experience in an office environment, where my high school students aren't going to get internships anyway because they're too young. So that's our cybersecurity content. But like I said, all the content lives in Canvas. You can have access to everything. Just sign up through the website. Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you very much. Anybody else have any questions? Like I said, I was mentioning it. I think if you have a high school locally and you want those high schools to start in a pathway, have them use this materials along with the labs that are there, plus there are labs through NDG Security Plus settings that we have that they could use that map to a lot of the same concepts. And then start a good pipeline for students to come to your school and to do cybersecurity or networking, because it's just like I teach people all the time, networking is security. If you don't know the networking, you're not going to know the security. So are there any other questions for Chuck or for Georgette? And I hope next year that the conference will not be the same week as Skills USA National. I know that happened. Skills USA National is in Atlanta the same week this year as it is as that conference, but we're hoping it'll get moved next year. So we will be able to participate and be there. So looking forward to it. All right. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to take away your co-host permissions just in case Zoom decided to do something crazy if you were to drop out.
Pleasure meeting everybody. Thank you.
You're welcome. Marianne, are you back with us? I think you were. Don't know if you may have left again or.
I think she dropped off, Kelly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, she dropped off. I'm going to have to David, I got a Zoom meeting tomorrow at 4 o'clock with Marianne. I went ahead and set that up. I'll have you some answers after tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much. And we have Jeff. Jeff is here with the Red Hat Academy. Jeff, can you hear us? You are muted.
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And I just made you a co-host. So Jeff is going to join us and is going to cover Red Hat Academy updates. And Jeff, you can share anything from your screen you want to and have control. I always mispronounce your name. Please pronounce for Jeff. It's Dubé.
Dubé, yes.
Dubé,
yes.
okay. I hope I got it right. I can't ever put the little the accent over it in the presentations, but we're glad to have you here and very glad to hear about things that are happening with the Red Hat Academy. If you did notice, folks, that WotC item that I shared had an entire week-long session on Kubernetes and containers for the Red Hat Academy. So if you are looking at possibly doing one of those, that would be an item to look at that relates to the Red Hat Academy. So Jeff, we'll let you take it away.
Perfect. Can you all see my screen right now?
No, we do not see it, Jeff.
All right, give me 1 second.
Zoom can be a little weird sometimes.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
That's fine. While Jeff's working, folks, I will say go ahead and sign up for an account on cyber.org. Like they're using a Canvas system, they will give you access. Just say you want to work with your local high school, and they do a really good job of helping you. And it's so funny. One of the courses they have is a 3D printing in the classroom, and I was just thinking about a good Con Ed class would be a 3D printing for fun and profit. So.
Hey, Kelly.
Yes, sir, Tim.
I was looking at some of the degrees and certificates offered by cyber.org. I'm wondering why I need to offer anything if they take it in high school.
Well, the hope there would be that they'll come to you and know so much that you can give them a bunch of credit, and then we can get them into more advanced topics. So
Okay.
That would be.
I'm looking at a big part of our core.
Yeah, they do have a lot. There's no doubt they have a great deal that's there. So, but it's a neat little thing. Jeff, I didn't lose you, did I? You're still here. Okay. Or maybe Jeff could drop down and is coming back. I just found a microbit case for that you can 3D print. It's pretty neat. Did we lose Jeff? I think we did. Man, dropped out and come back in. Yeah, they do have a huge number of classes that are available with mini labs too. So
Well, I was just looking at the CompTIA. They offer A+ Net Plus Security Plus. That's 3 of the courses that we offer as part of our degrees.
but wouldn't you love to have a student come in who had those already, and you could give them credit for Sec 110 and give them, and then maybe you can start teaching, you know, A, they'll finish quicker, and B, it's cheaper for them as a student. So we're trying to make it better for the students. And then, you know, also bring them in and say, hey, we're able to really move you now into a bigger area. Okay, Jeff, I'm gonna make you a co-host. I think you dropped out and came back in. He may be fighting Zoom. Jeff, you need to send me your presentation. I'm more than happy to be.
Let me see if I can get it now.
Okay. I think I made you a co-host. Yep, you are co-host. There you go. Yes, we see it.
Perfect,
Excellent.
perfect. I apologize for that. I got a new laptop on Friday, so all of my security stuff was there. All my preferences were changed. So thanks for y'all's patience.
No problem. We can
So
see it.
perfect. All right, well, I will get going then. It shouldn't take too long. I know you all have been here for a while now, but as Kelly said, my name is Jeff Dubay, and I am an engagement specialist here at Redhat Academy. You might know myself and Leah. We co-manage the academy here in North America. So we're here to help everyone, you know, with the onboarding, partnership, all of that fun stuff. I know most of you here, I'm looking at the names, are Redhat Academy partners. So I'm just going to do a quick overview for those of you who are not. So Redhat Academy our goal essentially is to bridge that gap between education and industry. So we're trying to give really your students industry leading curriculum to be prepared to go out into the workforce and to really give them those skills that they need to be successful in their IT careers. We're teaching students how to do open source, Linux, cloud, DevOps. So really open source is our bread and butter, as most of you know. And again, this is a no cost membership. And as far as open source talent goes, 93% of hiring managers are saying that it's finding talent with open source experience is really difficult to find. So as you can see, that's a huge number. And 80% of them are looking for folks that have some sort of Linux talent. So again, we're trying to teach your students you know, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, but additionally, we're trying to teach them that open source stuff, so they're really prepared to be out there in the workforce. And so some of you might ask, you know, why Red Hat? You know, why open source? Why Red Hat Enterprise Linux? And really, just again, why Red Hat? So 100% of U.S. airlines utilize us. 100% of telcos. 100% of U.S. commercial banks, U.S. executive departments, U.S. healthcare are using it. So over 90% of the global Fortune 500 companies are using some sort of product, some sort of Red Hat product and service that we really want to ensure. You know, we're trying to give them more talent to push that into really, I guess you could say, you know, use their products and services to their best of their abilities. And so as far as Red Hat Academy goes, I know I mentioned this, but we are a no-cost program to schools. So we are providing the Red Hat training materials to your schools at no cost. It's really enabling you as institutions, you and your instructors, to provide state-of-the-art industry-leading curriculum that's giving your students the ability to do a lot of hands-on labs and really getting them to be enterprise ready when they do graduate and leave the school for the next step in their careers. So as far as the impact that it's having, 95% of students say they're better prepared to maximize the value of Red Hat products and training. So after the training, sorry. So they're really ready once they get out into the job force. And 92% of them say they can be more independent than their counterparts when it comes to working Red Hat products and services at their company. So essentially, companies are having to spend more to train those folks, and those that are coming in with this training are already ready to work. And so I know you all, as folks who probably worked in industry or just know a lot about industry, hiring somebody who already knows what they're doing, it kind of saves you money. And so at the end of the day, you can know that your students are being more prepared. And then 94% of them say that they have better opportunities once they complete the training. And so as far as Red Hat Academy goes, we do have about over 500 partners in North America alone. We work with high schools, community colleges, 4-year universities. Really, we have a huge number of partners here in North America and actually at a global scale, but I'm not too familiar with all those folks. But like I said, we work with a number of schools here in North America. So as far as becoming an academy, there's really 4 requirements. It has to be an accredited school. So we want to make sure that you do have your accreditation through your governing body with the state, whatever it is. I know most of you all are probably North Carolina based, but through the state, you do have it has to be offered through a degree granting program. So it must be a degree with associates, bachelor's, or if it is a certificate program, it has to be a very robust certificate program. And then you have to be a part of a nonprofit. So most education entities are nonprofits. And then finally, it has to be delivered in 8 weeks or more. So we don't want any of those boot camp style courses within our curriculum. So that's the requirements of the partners, and something that Leah can talk to more if you are interested in joining. So as far as the academy features go, we do have our own learning platform. We provide instructors support. So instructors do get free video classroom training. So they get to see how the course is being taught by our Red Hat instructors who are teaching us on a regular basis to our commercial partners. Again, you're getting access, your students are getting access to industry leading curriculum, and it's really hands-on. So we really want to make sure your students are getting that hands-on experience and being prepared to take on their roles once they post-graduation. And then finally, included in that are discounted exam vouchers that go with the courses that we do have to offer. And so when it comes to the courses that we do offer, we offer 3 courses in the system administration. So system administration 1 and 2 are preparing students to sit for that system administration certification. Then we have an Ansible course, and then we have a few cloud computing courses. And so Kelly, I know you mentioned some Kubernetes earlier. So we have that DO 180 course, which helps folks become certified specialists in containers and Kubernetes. Then lastly, we have our middleware development course as well that prepares for the enterprise application developer. So as I said, there are discounts. So students get 50%, instructors get that 75% discount. I would say, with the certifications, if you're looking hand in hand with someone with a system administrator certification, that's probably the one that we see students sit for the most. That's worth about 2 years worth of work experience. So if you're taking that and passing that, you're right there giving yourself that experience to go into the industry. If you're looking, resume side by side, and if someone has this and someone doesn't, you're looking at that bump in your career. And so as far as the academy goes, this goes to everybody. One of the things that we did launch recently are the labs are on the platform. So this applies to all of our academy partners, and it's for all of our courses. So all the 7 courses you previously saw, the lab environments are on our platform. So essentially, you're just going to create that course, and when your students go in to access it, all they have to do is hit that lab environment button, and then they can go ahead and create the labs, and from there they can access the environment that goes with the courses. And then let's see. The last thing I mentioned is the instructor enablement. So again, I mentioned that instructors get access to the video classroom content. These courses are so you can see what our Red Hat instructors are doing on a regular basis and seeing how that same curriculum is being taught. And then we have Adopted Academy, where Red Hat associates can volunteer to work with schools at different capacities. So Kelly, I know you sent that email out a little bit ago about having an engineer speak. So that would be through our Adopting Academy program. So we have over 150 Red Hat associates in North America, and that's growing, that are willing to work with schools in different capacity, whether it's doing a webinar on who's Red Hat, what's open source, or doing it, as someone that did a webinar and lecture on cloud computing costs. So really any topic that you all see fit, we can have an associate present on that. We have the learning community where you can connect with other Red Hat Academy folks. So whether it's instructors or students, there is an instructor gated community, and we're actually rolling out a new and improved platform here in a few weeks. And there is going to be a new Red Hat Academy instructor platform that is going to have a little more features and more ability to work together. Then again, the instructors do get discounted exams. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was the new Red Hat Academy Talent Network. So we launched a talent network this past month, and we're super excited about it. So as I mentioned, over 90% of Fortune 500 companies are using some sort of Red Hat products and services. And as far as the academy stuff goes, 76% of students feel like they're faster job ready when they are, they're more ready for their jobs when they are going to Red Hat training prior to their onboarding. So this is just showing that they have the ability to be ready. And then again, that 93% of employers saying that's hard to find the open source talent. So the demand is there. And so we have launched a talent network where we're trying to connect Red Hat partners. So it's not just Red Hat, it's Red Hat partners that are going to be able to go in there and look at students and find students that align with the jobs that they're looking for. And so students are going to have the ability to connect with and chat with employers. They're going to have access to different job opportunities within essentially whatever those companies are posting. They're going to be able to search for companies based on location, skills, and then finally they'll be able to build out their profiles based off of the Red Hat Academy courses they've taken, as well as resumes and all that. And so our goal here is to give students the ability to just the next steps. We're helping them with the training, but then now we're connecting them with those partners that are purchasing Red Hat products and services and wanting and needing the skilled folks to be able to come in and do the job. So right then and there, we're helping them. And so with the employers, I know a lot of you already have connections with employers and pipelines built. So as one of the things we ask is spread the word of this. And I believe the full employer launch comes tomorrow. We haven't set the date on that yet, but employers, the launch is coming here soon, and employers will be able to go in there and create the profiles. They'll be able to locate folks with the Red Hat skills. They'll be able to chat with the students directly that have posted the profile. So it's not just any student on the Academy page, just whoever makes those profiles. And then they'll be able to search for any candidates based on the job criteria, and hopefully they'll be able to find some talent there. And so this is something that we're super excited about, and we're excited to see how it grows and the opportunity that it gives your students. And Kelly, that is all I have for you today. Just outline courses. So was there any questions or anything that anyone might have?
I love the talent network idea. It's it's like similar to the Cisco talent network idea they had too, but it's really good to be able to put our students together with the companies looking for people with their skills. So that's really good. I'm glad that was added to your academy.
Yeah, I think this year it's been about the labs, getting labs more accessible for students, and then making the next step in their careers. I think that was another missing piece that we had, and a lot of instructors like yourself have reached out to us about creating something like this, especially since we have so many partners and on a global scale that we would be able to connect our students with those folks.
Definitely. And everyone, I posted in chat, but if we can work out where Jeff and these other vendor programs could bring in an engineer, what would you want the engineer from Red Hat to discuss? I would like to hear more about containers and Kubernetes, but what is the topic that you as a group would like? If you'll post that in the chat, then we can take that to Jeff and he can find an engineer who would be able to do that for us. Or come off mute and say what you would look for, because like I said, I think that opportunity to talk to an actual engineer in the job roles that we're trying to train our students for is invaluable. So Linda's got containers. All right, Sergio also wants containers and Kubernetes. I think we definitely, that would be one area, Jeff, that would be good to have an engineer that works in that role and understands it and can I explain it all to us that that's something we could do. And then maybe also show the course content a little bit so that everyone knows the content that's available inside of the academy that can be used. And then that way we got an idea of what could be added in, you know, to the academies and can be taught. Be really good.
Yeah. Kelly, you and I can exchange emails about to get this finalized, and I can find someone that can talk about this, but I want to make sure I clarify a few things with you, and we can definitely do that offline. But yeah, no, that's definitely something we can do.
Excellent. Excellent. We'll bring a group together like this and then have it again. This is all recorded and sent out later. So we've got about 30 people who've been here at this point, but we usually have about another 50 to 60 who watch it online after we post it. So,
Hey, everybody, I just posted a link in chat that is very beneficial to us all. It's Kube Academy and VMware Office. It's basically free video courses. Go look at that. It's got a lot of questions that you may need, and as far as containers and Kubernetes itself, how it works, and how you build the container, how you network the container, and all that good stuff. Go take a look at it. Let me know what you think. Most of the videos on there are free. However, there are some on there as a paid membership, but it's very few. But I get a lot out of it if I just need to go back and look at the basics. It's just like Containers 101. What is a container? What is the knowledge and how do they work? Kubernetes 101. Getting started with Kubernetes. So that's huge. And you can also share that with your students because that is a free resource for you.
excellent. Thank you, Brandon.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions for Jeff? How many of you knew that the labs were now included in the materials? That's something that just happened during this semester, in fact. So now if you don't have to have any local labs, you don't have to have net labs. I mean, obviously you can still use your net labs if you want, but you don't have to. They're now built into the content. So you can actually click in there and do the labs locally. We did not switch over to it during this semester's classes because we were in the middle of the classes and didn't want to cause confusion, but we'll probably start using that in the summer just for simplicity's sake. Okay. Any other questions? Jeff, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. I am going to remove co-host permissions in case you decide to drop. Feel free to hang around. If there are any other questions, drop them into chat, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to share my.
Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. So everyone, we've had the benefit today of talking to all of the other vendor programs that we help support as part of our Academy Support Center, Cisco Academy Support Center here at Stanley Community College. I did get tickled because 3 of the 5 major schools that he listed as academies on his presentation, Jeff's presentation, were our Cisco academies that we actually support. So I thought that was kind of fun. But Shaw University, Wake Tech, and East Carolina are all schools that are Cisco academies under us at this point. We have coming up this summer, you do know we have all of the instructor training classes that we normally offer. I have 0 spots left in CCNA 1, so it is full. I sent out today the information on how to register for that course. So hopefully everyone on your list that you gave me will get an email and we'll see that and get registered by the end of the week. I don't have anybody yet to support the CCNA 2 class. Again, like I said, I dropped almost $20,000 of ASC funding to pay for the CCNA 1 class this summer. So I will not be able to pay for CCNA 2 for 100 slots. But obviously, our classes are $195.50 a piece. So if you want to continue sending your person, then we will have CCNA 2 in the fall. I did just post our fall dates for classes, which are September 8th to December 8th of 2022. And so you do know what those dates are. You can't register for those classes yet. We don't have them built, but I do have those dates out there. So we are going to offer all 3 CCNA classes in the fall. we're going to offer CyberOps Associate, DevNet Associate, and good Lord willing, and I passed my CCNP Encore, we will be offering another CCNP Encore class in the fall. If I don't pass it, we won't be offering it because I won't be accredited to teach it. Pray I passed my CCNP Encore. He was talking about wireless a little bit earlier with cyber.org, and it kind of gave me, I got PTSD from all the wireless studying I've been doing on the CCNP Encore class. Are there any questions? Does anyone have anything? I do know that I've already had a basically Susan Cofield has agreed that she will find an engineer. I don't know if it'll be May 3rd or May 10th will be our first engineer, meet the engineer in May. But I'm hoping that we can actually make that happen, and we'll do it for a 1 hour slot instead of a 2 hour slot. We'll do Tuesdays in May and make that a meet the engineer for each one of our academy programs. So there's 5 actual Tuesdays in May. So it may be we can put it back, no pun intended. We can put it back to May 10th and still get in 4 different academies. So I'm hoping we can make that happen. And if we may have it as early as May the 3rd. So if that does happen, I'll let you know. Are there any questions on anything we've covered during the past month? Anything that you have that's, I do know if you're in Tennessee, and I know, Sergio, you are in Tennessee. I just had somebody send me a quote they got from a company in Tennessee for Cisco gear, and it was a real good price. So if you're looking to buy equipment, Sergio, send me an email, and I will send you, or anybody else who's in Tennessee, I will send you that information about that company so you can reach out to them also.
Thank you.
Okay, information on the Splunk training. Right now I have those who've sent me information on the list. I have you on the list. I actually have a meeting with Chris tomorrow to talk about where that's going. But right now the plan will still be probably in July. You will have training on the Splunk. Okay, so that's what I know right now.
Kelly, let me point out, if any of y'all got LinkedIn Learning, I just started using it a month ago, actually about a month and a half. I'm gonna tell you, they got a lot of stuff on LinkedIn Learning that you can actually bring to your classroom. These little mini segments they do, it works well for me. After I watch anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, I just kind of lose the thought process. They break them down a little bit easier. So LinkedIn Learning is actually a good tool that could actually help you in the classroom too. So I just wanted to point that out. I did do one on Splunk. You can do a free, remember, a free trial and go look at it. But I've already went through about half of that one. It's pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's there.
Excellent. And that's the one you're talking about right here, LinkedIn Learning Splunk. So you can do a free month or buy this course and go from there. So, but I know we'll be doing training this summer on Splunk. Well, we won't. Splunk's going to be doing it, and we'll get you, everyone who's contacted me, we'll get you in touch with Chris to make that happen. All right. Any other questions? You have LinkedIn Learning at FTCC. Cool. That's neat. Carolyn's talking about the forensics classes. Use some of the lessons from LinkedIn Learning. Excellent. I do know there's several digital forensics pathways or classes at the NC PACE that I mentioned earlier. So make sure you go back, and if you have not looked at it, look at that NC PACE conference. And again, email me or Carolyn. Carolyn, if you want to drop your email into the chat, feel free, but she can send you the code to make registration free if you want to go to NC PACE. So Carolyn just dropped hers in there, and I'll drop mine in here, although I think everybody knows my email address at this point. All right, everyone, that's all I have for today. So let me stop sharing my screen. And I am going to stop recording.